Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to Michael in the Morning. Today is Tuesday, September 15th, 2020, and this is your second stimulus check and second stimulus package. We have very big news to go over in today's video because Steven Mnuchin struck a more compromising tone on Monday and said that he's willing to negotiate and compromise on a deal with no conditions, and he's willing to meet at any time. So in today's video, we're first going to go over how Treasury Secretary spoke with CNBC's Squawk yesterday on Monday, and he told lawmakers that they should not allow fears over the size of the nation's deficit or the Federal Reserve's balance sheet to delay a second stimulus package and how we need to get one passed soon. Then we're going to go over how on Monday he said he's willing to work with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on a new deal, and he's willing to meet at any time with her, sit down and negotiate, and there are no conditions at all. He's not worried about the price tag, what's in it. He said he simply wants to come to a deal. And finally, we're going to go over how today is a very big day because the Problem Solvers Caucus is set to propose a new stimulus bill later today that is going to have more bipartisan agreement in it. The price tag is going to be much more reasonable where both sides can agree on it. So this is something that we can look forward to later in the day, and we're going to go over some of the specific details of what we can expect in it. But before we get started, it would really mean a lot if you could like the video down below and subscribe to my channel. It's completely free to do so, and it currently says that about 50% of you watching are not subscribed. So if you'd like to stay up to date on what is going on with the second stimulus check, second stimulus package, as well as other news updates, well then please be sure to subscribe. Also, don't forget, you can get a free stock valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below, and get $20 immediately when you download the M1 Finance app as well. So, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin told CNBC's Squawk Box on Monday that lawmakers should not allow fears over the size of the nation's deficit or the Federal Reserve's balance sheet to delay additional stimulus checks and stimulus relief. Steven Mnuchin, along with White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, have led administration's stimulus relief negotiations, and they said that the economic crisis right now warrants extraordinary stimulus from both Congress and the Federal Reserve, and how now is not the time to worry about shrinking the nation's deficit or shrinking the federal balance sheet. He said now is the time that we need to focus on getting more relief to continue the economic recovery that we have been seeing, because if we don't pass more money, people are going to lose their jobs and things are going to get worse again. He said that there was a time when the Federal Reserve was shrinking the balance sheet and coming back to normal, and the good news is that gave them a lot of room to increase the balance sheet, spend more money to help the economy, and that is what they did. But he explains that right now he thinks monetary policy, working with fiscal policy, and what we were able to get done with the CARES Act earlier in the year is the main reason why the economy is doing better now. And he explained how that is why we need more stimulus passed as soon as possible so we can continue to see the economy recover. Mnuchin's comments critiqued his fellow Republicans who have been arguing that improving jobs data and strong housing figures relax the need for additional spending and more stimulus. A lot of Republicans in Congress have said that they don't want to spend more money because we are already seeing the economy recover. So while Mnuchin did say on Monday that we are rebounding in a very, very significant way, the economy is getting better, but he explained how more stimulus needs to pass very soon. So he is essentially calling out the Republicans in Congress, saying that it doesn't matter if numbers are getting better now, we simply need to pass another bill and need to come to an agreement. Moving on, Steven Mnuchin struck a more compromising tone on Monday and said he's willing to work with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on a new deal. He explained how I think there's many areas of this where there is an agreement to be reached between Democrats and Republicans, and some of the areas where we do have differences on the amounts. But he goes on to say that I will continue to work on this every single day. I've told the speaker I'm available at any time to negotiate, no conditions at all. So this is a huge change from before because there have always been conditions from Steven Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi about the total price tag of the bill, of what they were willing to include and not include in the bill. But now Steven Mnuchin is saying that he's willing to sit down down, and he wants to sit down with Nancy Pelosi as soon as possible to come to a deal with no conditions. He said he just wants to get a deal passed so we can get more $1,200 stimulus checks to Americans, more help for small businesses, and just get another bill passed. Treasury Secretary told CNBC that despite what he described as a great rebound with the economy up until this point, there are clearly areas that are still struggling significantly and that need more stimulus support as soon as possible. The issue is right now is that many Republicans are worried about spending too much on a bill. That is one of the main reasons why Mitch McConnell proposed such a small $500 billion bill. He proposed this small bill because many Republicans say that since the start of the pandemic, Congress has pumped over $3 trillion in emergency spending and stimulus into the economy, and now the U.S. deficit is $26.7 trillion. They don't want to add more to that. But Mnuchin is saying that we still need to pass more. We can't worry about that right now. Moving on, the Problem Solvers Caucus is set to propose a stimulus bill later today on Tuesday. They were expected to announce this yesterday, however, they were still finishing up the final details. Mnuchin spoke out on this new bill, and he reiterated that he and President Trump are both in favor of more support for the economy, and he explained how he hopes that this new bill will address some of the most hard-hit sectors in the economy right now, like hotels, travel, small businesses, and restaurants. One of the most fundamental factors of the breakdown in stimulus negotiations, and one of the main reasons we were at a standstill, is because both Democrats and Republicans couldn't agree on a total price tag for the bill. However, this bill that is expected to be proposed later today is supposed to be more of a compromise where both sides can agree on. So ultimately, Mnuchin explained how there is a compromise if the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, is willing to move forward. He explained how had we not passed the $3 trillion deal and had the Federal Reserve not acted in the way they did earlier in the year, that the economy would be very different right now and we would not be in as good of a position. So he realizes that now we need to pass more money like we did earlier in the year. He said, however, he's getting somewhat concerned that Pelosi is afraid to do any deal because it would be good for the president and that politics could be getting in the way of American people getting more stimulus. But Mnuchin reiterated that he is willing to negotiate and find a consensus with no strings attached right now, so he hopes Nancy Pelosi will come to the table and they can get a deal passed this week. Anyways, that is just a quick update on the second stimulus check and second stimulus package as of Tuesday, September 15th, 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your free stock valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below, and get $20 immediately when you download the M1 Finance app. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.